Hi, welcome to my tabletop. Have a seat. Please don't bend my cards. They're very cool, and someone's already put a crease in one of them. I really don't want another one to be bent. And when you pick up my rulebook, please take care of it. I know it's hardcover, but those pages can still be stained and ripped. I know it's very tempting. I'm in love with a little game called Arkham Horror. Not the card game. Not the card game. I'm sure the card game's great, but I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the 3E board game, Arkham Horror. It's a very fun little game, and it's quite complex when you're getting into it, to be completely honest, but it's super, super duper fun when you know how to play. And of course it has its flaws. I'm too obsessed with this game to be able to acknowledge its flaws. I will forgive it, because it's so good. Maybe I'm just a fan of like RPG style board games that don't require me to put in the work of coming up with a story. There's a bunch of different characters, and I feel like the internet, this little realm of the internet, has gone into extensive debate over how good these characters are. And definitely I agree, some of their abilities do suck a lot. If you compare characters like Calvin, who can literally heal people, one of the only characters that can heal people, and my girl Agatha, who literally has like 3 abilities that can stack on top of each other when she casts a spell, and literally makes her so OP. And you compare that with who am I looking for? My guy Dexter, who's a magician. I don't even know what he does, because I looked him up and everyone said that he wasn't great to play, and so I never played as him. And it's so sad, because all of these characters have so much like flavor to them. Like, they all have backstories, all of their abilities are super unique, which honestly I find to be really cool, which sort of can divert a little bit from how abysmal a character can be to play in a real situation. I found, upon looking for this, I found the Echoes of the Deep expansion, which essentially takes some of the weaker characters and transforms them into something a bit more evenly powered. Yeah, so I've got the Echoes of the Deep expansion, which I printed on 2 rounds of cardstock, because I couldn't print it double-sided, so I just have super thick extra cards. My favorite character is, oh, no, that's the guy I just mentioned. What's his name? Rex! I was close. It was an EX. My favorite character is a guy named Rex, who's a reporter, and his entire thing is based on being unlucky, which I personally think is super interesting, even though it makes him a pain in the ass to play, and I still play him to this day because his flavor is so goddamn interesting. And they made his abilities a bit more useful, but I still sometimes have to use both of his character cards in order to make it even like remotely even enough to play. Also, I should mention, this is also one of those games where winning is on the lower end of possibility. Like, it's a difficult game to win, but that's what makes it so riveting, because when you win, you know that you'll have won for realsies. It's not like a disappointing, like, oh, I won, yay, for the 50th time. No, you can play these scenarios over and over and over again, and it's really good because there's like different little routes that you can take depending on how you play, and it's pretty great. You know, you can fight monsters from, a man in a cult to fucking Cthulhu. Yeah, there's different events that have different, different actions you can take. There's a lot of different mechanics, unfortunately. There's a lot of mechanics, but it's actually not that difficult once you get used to it. It's just about playing it enough that you don't trip up too much. If anyone wants me to make a video explaining this game, because it looks very cool, I will definitely do it, because I love this game to bits, and I do not mind delving into the mechanics of this game. As you can see, there's so many rules. There's a whole ass, like, index of like, a glossary of just rules, and the learn to play is not, it's not that user-friendly either. It's fine, it does the job. I managed to learn to play with it. The index is just for like clarifying little rules and bits, which is also really useful. You can discover clues to progress your little journey, and these little red tokens called Doom, they will be the death of you. They will be the death of you. You will die to them. Usually. That's usually how it goes. It's absolutely how it goes. You do die to Doom. You just gotta work on it. Just gotta keep on chugging through it, and you gotta make sure to keep that Doom down. Otherwise, you're screwed. You're so screwed. That spreads, the mechanics of that spreads so easily. How do you spread Doom? It's just a thing. It's just an aura in the form of little round red tokens that haunt my nightmares. There's also money. And little ability tokens. They're very cool. It's always nice accumulating a lot of tokens. I feel like that's always a good feeling to have. You know, when you have a lot of money tokens and you're like, ooh, you go to the general store and you're like, I can buy so much of this. I can buy so much of this stuff. I can get a gun. I can get a thing that absorbs my damage. Also for a little, like, weird little strat nerd like me, I love having the little, like, the icons on each of the spaces that, like, tells you what, like, skill checks you will get on the space, or, like, what things you'll get. That's always so useful, because you're like, oh, I need spells. I can go to this specific space and see if I can get some spells. That's always really nice. You can always use it in a game as hard as this one. And some of the game mechanics really screw you over. Like, the dark packs really suck. Because basically, like, if you get one can straight up kill your character if you turn it over. It's so sick. It's so amazing. I just love the stakes of it. It just fills my heart with excitement and fear. And there are so many cards. So many cards. You can accumulate so many cards on your table. Maybe it's just the little monkey in me that likes having a lot of, like, tactile things. It's always nice to have a lot of physical things in front of you that you can, like, organize however you like. It just makes it a really fun, hands-on, immersive experience. And if you put on some Lovecraftian horror music in the background as well, even better. Dress up in your best outfit of your approximation of what people in that genre dress like. This game is quite flawed in a couple ways, as I've mentioned, and I'm not against being able to acknowledge those flaws, but I will admit that this game has given me some of the best experiences in tabletop role-playing. Yeah! In tabletop gaming ever. Managed to build tension really well, and if you play your cards right, winning can be really, really, really satisfying. Yeah, I'd suggest giving it a go if you have a sec. And it's really replayable too. The scenarios you can go into over and over again, build up your strats. It'll turn out differently every single time. And eventually you'll know what you're doing. And it'll be really, really good when you win. Anyway, that's it from me for today. Thanks for coming, and I will see you later. Bye.